Italians, welcome back to Keep It Local. It's me, Destiny Beasley, aka the broadcast baddie, and we have another episode, and we have with us Dr. Dorothy Nairne.
Yeah.
She is an activist, and you're also looking for some money
Hello.
because you're trying to put together a great project
Thank
in
you.
Assumption Parish.
That's right.
And so we're going to get deep into it, but we're just going to give them a little surface level. Sweet Solutions. So the name of your nonprofit, Project Possible.
Yes.
But you're putting together Sweet Solutions. So tell us a little bit about that.
So Sweet Solutions is just that. It's sweet because it uses the sugarcane waste. And what is Louisiana known for? Sugarcane. So where I live in Assumption Parish, which used to be called the Sugar Bowl of Louisiana, that comes with a lot of connotations because while we've got the rolling sugarcane fields, we also had slavery, and we also had Jim Crow, and we also had sharecropping. So in Assumption Parish, we had 3 different sugar mills where they would squeeze the juice out of the sugarcane. And so what's left is waste. So we can take that waste, Destiny, and we can make stuff. We can make tableware, which would be straws and cups and those to-go containers that every single church, gives out how many times a week. We have an industry that we can even make diapers and sanitary pads. We can have our own Procter & Gamble in South Louisiana that creates thousands of jobs. And that's sweet, and it's a solution.
Yes, and so you're looking for money from investors to build a facility for this. But, this all started from an inspiration. You were inspired to do this. And this was when you were living in South Africa.
That's right.
Let's get into your South African journey. Because, when we think of the motherland, we think of Africa, we think of, the different... Look, let's check it out. The different artwork, the beads. So, how was it living in South Africa and you were able to just become inspired to create Sweet Solutions and bring that dream here in Assumption Parish? Well, not here, but here.
Yes. So I am a public health doctor by training, and my area of expertise is poverty alleviation and behavior change.
Okay.
So while in South Africa, I worked for the University of Michigan, paid for by the United States government. So I moved to South Africa in 1998, which was when it was like fresh and alive, but there was a lot of work to do in terms of challenges, including HIV. So I worked with and ran a project called Women at Risk, which was this sex worker, or as there was a president who came in after Bill Clinton, who was the president that funded the project that I was on. He was like, "You mean sex workers? You mean prostitutes?" So we was working with sex workers to make sex work safer in inner city Johannesburg, and it was so much fun.
Okay.
But I interviewed like 10,000 women, and each of them had the same story to tell, and that was, I need a job. I have people at home, and they need work. And so it's like, okay, what can we do to create jobs? And my background's economic development, so it's like, okay, people who don't have a lot of skills can work. They can sew. They can do all kinds of things with their hands. Very creative. They can do beadwork traditionally. Make these little rings.
And it look fly too.
Out of recycled bottle caps, by the way.
Oh, that's made out of recycled bottle caps?
Yes, it is.
Oh, that look nice.
So, Mardi Gras throws, right? So, and then some. But the point is that it was like, wow, people need work.
Yeah.
So I had literally the stories of 10,000 women hit me saying that they need work. So I have 3 children. I had a daughter who was born in South Africa.
Okay.
And my mother said, well, get my granddaughter a doll. I couldn't find a black doll in South Africa.
Really?
Black dolls were illegal during the apartheid days because they knew, that government knew the power of having a toy that looks like you, so they outlawed them.
Representation matters.
It does. Hello. And so it was like, okay, when I finally found this little doll, and children would look at the doll and they were like, wow, I want that. So it's like, let's make black dolls. So I started making clothing. And the line was called Africa Loves Babies. I was even on the Oprah Winfrey Show with this.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, now you're on Keep It Local with
Yes,
Destiny
I am.
Beasley, a.k.a. the broadcast baddie. Oprah, we're coming for you, okay?
I love it.
Look, now you're on here. But you made these dolls.
Yeah, I made dolls and clothes and had women sewing. It was fantastic. And so, yeah, that was the background. And it was like, okay, it's like I became an entrepreneur there in South Africa. And it was like, wow, we can make things from sugarcane waste. We can make, and have a circular economy. We can make these plastic beads out of plastic bottle caps, and we can make, it just all came. And we can create jobs, and we can have fun in the workplace, and everybody owns it. Instead of having just one person owns it and everybody else is like, ha, ha, ha. No, we want everyone to own it and have some fun within the workplace. Because it's possible. So they would sing, and we would do theater, and they have 11 official languages in South Africa. 11. And they're like from Afrikaans to Xhosa and Zulu, different sounds, different.
Did you learn all of it?
I can say hello, how are you, where's the toilet in almost every language. So yeah.
That's very important.
And help, no, hi-bo. So yeah, I can get by in a few languages. Yeah. And I can hear when someone's gossiping about me too.
What you say, girl?
That's universal. That's like some body language. So I had a great time in South Africa, learned, and South Africa made me an entrepreneur.
That's amazing. And so when you came over to Louisiana, what made you say, I can go to Assumption Parish and I can make something out of this?
So my mother is from Assumption Parish. She grew up in this little town, one of the villes, not Donaldsonville, but the next one over, Deville, nope. Napoleonville, Napville, the village. So she grew up in the village and went to Southern, and she was a first grade teacher.
I'm a Gremlinite.
Oh. I love Gremlin. HBCUs rock. I went to Clark Atlanta University. Hello.
Okay, well, you still HBCU.
Exactly. So when my mother, I came home to visit at some point to take one of my children to college in the U.S., and my mother was slumped over on the chair about to have a heat stroke. So it was like, okay, somebody needs to live with this little lady. So I knew that the house that we live in on Highway 1 in Assumption Parish in Napoleonville was made out of sugarcane waste. So the tiles and all of the materials inside the house used to be made out of sugarcane waste. So there used to be an industry. It's like, well, how do we bring some of that back and change cane so that it's not full of pain, but it's rather something that helps to elevate our economy? Because Assumption Parish is, I don't know, like 62, 63 in terms of the vibrancy of the economies of the 64 parishes in Louisiana. So it's like, well, I think we can do something about that.
Oh, and that's interesting that you just thought, like, we can take sugarcane waste and we can make something out of it. That's amazing. And so with that, like, what started, like, getting your gears grinding? You're like, okay, now the sugarcane waste, we can take that and, like, what? Because in my mind, I don't, God, he can take nothing and make it into something. But with us, we have to take something that is wasteful and make that into where it has purpose. So what in your brain made you think, like, okay, yes, we can make that sugarcane waste and make this into XYZ ...
So I owed to Clark Atlanta and HBCUs because it made me a systems thinker. So it's like, okay, what systems would be needed here to change the system that we have that ain't working for us so that it's something that can work for us? How do we rebuild from all the rubble or even the sugarcane waste? Because it's like, look at this, it's everywhere, and they're pumping it out. The jobs aren't there. People are complaining. We've got this hidden workforce of mostly men and women who maybe they don't have childcare, maybe they don't have transportation, maybe they have a felony conviction, maybe they are just living a life of despair. So what can we do to reinvigorate this population that we love because they're our family members, and maybe their reading levels aren't very strong. So it's like, how do we then use theater or use poetry or because they know every song, every word from Lil Boosie's song. So you can memorize that, but you know, and then when someone starts to womp womp womp, you know, womp womp womp, we need a new way to do things.
Yeah.
So that's how my mind works, and I just really look at my heart and to think like, who is looking after all these men and women when they come out of prison? So we will need employees, employers, like Project Possible to put together some sweet solutions. Same thing in New Orleans, had a whole factory that we were going to put together, taking tires, those old tires that people just dump out on the side of the road, those. We were going to collect the tires, shred them, and there's a machine that will take the tire and it will pull out the copper or the steel that's in the tire, and it'll take the rubber and it'll separate the two. So you can sell the commodity, which is the steel, and that's a moneymaker. And then you can take the rubber that's, you know, all chopped up, and it could be used for road base. Department of Transportation, we're coming for you because we want to use this product. And we can make yoga mats. And
so innovative.
At least have some jobs, you know. So had 2 grants that would have been worth $40 million, but guess what happened in November of 2024?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we all know what happened. But that, I really find that very interesting and very innovative, and we're going to get more into that innovation and just the planning behind Sweet Solutions right after this commercial break. So we'll catch y'all after the break, you guys.
What up, everybody? It's your boy Will Merrill, Mad Game ENT's finest, and guess what, y'all? Laugh Now, Laugh Later seasons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 on Fawsome TV. So make sure y'all download those apps right now. Watch all the episodes, seasons 1 through 8. All the funny things that we've done in the past, man. Y'all can watch them now on Fawsome TV. And guess what, guys? Guess what? Season 9 is gonna be exclusively on Fawsome TV. Coming soon, y'all. Season 9 of Laugh Now, Laugh Later, presented by Mad Game ENT. Go watch it, stream it, laugh now, then go get your friends and laugh later. I've been Will Merrill, Mad Game ENT's finest. Shout out to Fawsome TV.
Welcome back, Localians. Thank you for sticking it out with me and Dr. Dorothy. Hey. We're getting more into Sweet Solutions. So we just left off talking about the innovative process. So let's get into the planning of this. So do you plan on building this manufacturing facility in Assumption Parish?
Absolutely.
And this will create an economic opportunity for the parish, but also jobs for people that live within the parish and nearby parishes.
That's it.
And so, do you already have land?
Ooh, that's my favorite question, because there's 77 acres on a former plantation that is ready for us. So we can buy the plantation, former plantation, and change it into a work, play, live, and celebrate your heritage site. So I see it. The vision is big, where we can take this land, and it's ample land where I see homes that are endebele, you know, with so that it's different types of architectural design, where we've got artist residencies. We've got people from around the world who are coming into work. And so with Sweet Solutions, we have a partnership with LSU and a partnership with Southern as well. And, you know, we'll get some other universities in there too. Grambling. Hello. Call a sister. So to get all the organizations and the businesses together and figure out what else we can do, because I know that people, once we unleash the creativity, the people in South Louisiana, what I found, are just natural engineers because they can tinker with machinery. My neighbor he can tinker and he can build almost anything. Hook him up with some engineers, we will be able to build all types of things.
And let me tell you something. As a journalist, I'm not biased. I try my best not to be biased. But there is one bias that I will stick with. Black people are very innovative. Black people are very innovative. And you can, just the things that you see all around us in everyday life, from the traffic light.
Yes.
Right there. If we didn't have a traffic light, then there would be a lot of car accidents.
Exactly.
I mean, there's already car accidents in Louisiana because people don't know how to
So
drive.
imagine without.
But there's so many creative things that we have created. Even Dr. Carver and Peanuts.
Yep.
And so with this is sounding like another innovative thing coming from a Black mind.
Yes.
And I love that.
Yeah, and then to do it together.
Yes.
So that we have people whose skin is in the game. So it's not just one owner, but like the Green Bay Packers, where we have a place-based, community-based, community-owned operation. So that people have, especially people coming out of prison, a way to leapfrog. There's one man, so I'm on a project right now working where we did a scan of the criminal legal system throughout Louisiana.
Yes.
So I've been to Angola like 3 times, and from Shreveport all the way to Chalmette, interviewing people and visiting detention centers and prison and talking to people about how we can change the narrative, but we have to change the situation. And poverty is taking that creativity and that innovation, it's strangling it. Because people are worried about how they're going to survive. So rather having people, I met a man who was from Napoleonville, got out of Angola after 56 years. And when he went in, not sure for what, but it doesn't matter because 56 years, he survived it. He's 80 years old. When he went in, it was a gravel road. And the first time he went out was the Thursday before Thanksgiving this past year. And he's ready for the world. I mean, because it's like, and my grandmother was the midwife that delivered him on Little Texas Plantation in Napoleonville.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So we figured that one out, and it was like, oh, I have a responsibility. It's a moral imperative to do something and to do more. I can't say, well, I got mine, you better get yours. Because, well, first, I don't have mine. And I want mine, and I want you to have mine, because my pronouns are us and we. And that's how we need to work.
Yeah. And then you said that not only will this be a manufacturing facility, but also a residency.
Yes.
And so how does that, because I know you talked about the creativity behind it, but how will that impact really just build a community around, Assumption Parish? Because it's already a community, but this will become a greater impact and create a greater community for them.
Absolutely. And have people come in. So that if we need an engineer who has expertise with the sugarcane waste, or an engineer who has expertise with plastic and recycling plastic, then they can move there too. So that it's a mixed media, mixed economic kind of environment. So that people, and I can think of all these people who live in Napoleonville and in Assumption Parish and Donaldsonville, and they can fix things and they can build things. Because we know we can tear stuff down, but guess what? We can build stuff up too. And we can build it higher and bigger. And then South Africa's waiting. They want this kind of project also. So we can create our own electricity from this. We can leapfrog and take this kind of and make it a franchise and sell the machinery once we have it up and running. So it's like, first things first, buy the land. Second, build the building so that the building has and have more than one building, so there's a buffer so that you can have a space for childcare and a space for after school programs, so that if I'm working and I've got this child who's coming from school at 3:30 or whatever time they come from school, that kid can come in and do homework and learn, so that kind of learning and those after school activities that children from more privileged backgrounds have. Well, why shouldn't they have that on the back of of Sweet Solutions? Because that's a solution too.
Right.
Making sure that kids have activities and that they learn early what they love. There's a Swahili proverb that says, happiness requires something to do, something to love, and something to hope for. So to provide that to children from when they're little and to their parents, we'll transform our entire area.
And so this will create jobs for so many people. And I know you've been talking about formerly incarcerated people, but who else will be a part of, getting this job? Because I know, because you sent me a piece and you said you want to create jobs for young adults, and you want to create jobs for those who are unemployed or they're underemployed.
Exactly. People who maybe they're even retired and they could work in the child care center, or people who never had an opportunity at all because they have to leave the parish and leave the area in order to find a job, or somebody who may not have finished high school and their reading level might be, but we'll find ways to learn, because to me, the methodology has to change so that we meet people where they are with whatever skills they have, so that everybody has an opportunity to participate. And then we'll have a cohesive society that I bet crime will be down and happiness and joy will be up, because people walk different when they have money in their pockets on payday.
So, and that is a sweet solution. So with creating job opportunities, will there be on-the-job training? Like, how will that look like?
Absolutely. And that's one of my areas of expertise also, training people and looking at different ways to train.
Yes.
So that it's training using music, it's training using little video clips, training where it's more tactile and experiential, so that people are, and using theater and using poetry, because we remember that song, so why don't we use that to talk about what you should or shouldn't do, and comedy. Ooh, getting people to laugh, so that, especially like for quality assurance. So if we're talking about, bringing some comedians, so that our workforce development team would be people who are in the creative arts. Okay. And so that's work that they can have too, so that, they have definite income, so they can, write that master album or make that masterpiece that they've always dreamed of, but they don't have to drive Uber during the day or drive a Lyft service,
Yeah.
So that they can rather focus on their craft and make money with Sweet Solutions. Yeah.
So you have different ways of the on the job training, just outside of teaching them, okay, this is how you would take this waste and make it into these different products, these biodegradable products. Do you have a certain number of how many jobs this will create?
So initially we would have had 177 jobs, and that would have been in the first 3 years. But with this iteration of Sweet Solutions, it would be 13 jobs, because the machinery that we will purchase, so construct the building and then put the machine in and have a nice silo, because sugarcane waste it doesn't have a nice odor when it's raining outside.
I didn't know that. I know about the paper, but
Woo! So we want to have it nice and dry, and so to have some sort of like, I don't know, the aerodynamic or whatever the process, so that it's dry, and it is definitely up to food and FDA, Food and Drug Administration standards, so that you don't have any kind of rodents running around, because we do have a lot of that on the bayou. So we don't want that.
okay.
Let them stay outside where they live. And then inside, we can keep what we have. So yes, we would have training in the workplace and all types of jobs, and make sure that it is earn and learn at the same time, so that people can also, look at, well, what's next for me? And do it in pairs. Why does work have to be something that you don't like? Have a buddy in the workplace, so that there's someone looking out for you. So since we're creating it, we can design it in a way that meets the needs of people. And then you have this loyal workforce who are co-owners and happy people.
I know that's right. We're going to get more into sweet solutions, but we know you just got to take a quick little break, okay?
All
so
right.
Localians, do not go anywhere. Do not click out your browser, because we will be right back after this break.
He's alive right now. He walks with me. He talks with me. I know he's all right.
Advertising and operating a business go hand in hand. Mad Game Entertainment has a long, detailed history of working within clients' budgets and delivering big results. Mad Game helped launch the popular Go Vote app. We've been involved with several successful political campaigns. We assist the everyday marketing needs for small businesses and many other organizations. We custom fit marketing plans for the largest budget and the most modest. We look forward to enhancing your presence in your industry.
Thank you for staying with me and Dr. Dorothy. So, Dr. Dorothy, we were just talking about how this on-the-job training is not just for, okay, I'm going to teach you how to break down this waste, but it's creating an environment where you're, like you said, you're learning. And it's shaping you up to go out and find you another job. So
Exactly.
it's basically bringing people in and bringing them out into the world. And it's creating revenue, it's creating jobs.
Yes. And so you helped me think of a few things.
Mm-hmm.
One is that each person, even me, as executive director, or whatever my title might be, will have a life coach.
Mm-hmm.
Because we got coaches when we're younger, mentors when we're younger, but what about when we're old, right? So that there are short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals. Goals with your money. Now you're earning some money. How do you make sure that you save, and what do you do with that savings?
Mm-hmm.
Buying homes, so that people can then become homeowners or repair the home that they live in, so that people have goals, or maybe they want to travel and we take a trip to South Africa, or maybe they want to learn how to play the flute or the piano or learn a new skill, that enriches their own lives. So I think to really get the best out of life so that people who've never had opportunities to do those things are able to explore and be the best people that they can be. And because the people that I meet, they're intelligent, they're curious, they would be ambitious if they had an opportunity in front of them. But when the people behind you and the people behind them, and when everybody is just kind of lived in the same trailer and maybe worked at a box office or box store, then you stop dreaming. So we're gonna unleash the dreams that we all have. I just remember a woman in South Africa, and she was beading, and she was like making money. And she said, me, I am dreaming again.
Look, I stay dreaming. And this sounds like a dream come true if we're being honest. Yeah. But, in order to make your dream to a reality, you need money.
Yes, we do.
You need money for that. And so what about investors? Have you even reached out to some investors? Have some investors reached out to you? Like, how is this process playing out for you?
It's been really tough, Destiny. Why? Because, so I'm a good grant writer.
Yeah.
So I've been going after funding, and my U.S. representative from District 2, very proud of that, Troy Carter, his office called and they said, we've got the perfect grant for you. It's for a persistent parish with persistent poverty.
Okay.
Assumption Parish has that. And it's also for a parish that has had a disaster within the past 4 or 5 years. And we've had those hurricanes. So we're ideally situated to get a grant from the Economic Development Administration. Here's the catch, though. You need a 20% match. So if we get a $3 million grant, then we need roughly like $600,000. So who do you get that money from? The parish doesn't have any money. The state might have a few incentives that we can calculate, and that can go towards the towards the match. But we need more money. We need some like cash money, because the people who we buy the land from, they don't want no okay, girl, that's cute, but we need some money, you know.
Bring the money.
Yeah. So investors, yes, we'd be open, but they'd have to be on board with this kind of a different type of economy. And I think that the day is calling for that, and people are seeing things that maybe 2 years ago we didn't see as clearly as we see now. They're like, wow, we need a new kind of economy.
And so, you know, with investors, they have to see vision. They have to see purpose with this. And of course, you know, with us talking, we see it. You know, just you spinning it out there, it's like, okay, this really does sound really good. But for some investors, they're thinking of insurance purposes, just the liability of it all. So what do you have to say as far as that, trying to get investors in when they're thinking, you know, like, forget the vision, forget, you know, lollipops and gumdrops. How can I be invested and not worry about any type of liabilities?
So we do have somebody, a broker, who will help us with liability insurance. So whether that's for, you know, if somebody gets hurt on the job, and there's risk.
Yeah.
So where there's industry, there's risk. So making sure that we put in safety mechanisms, you know, ain't no jokes with safety now. So it's just safety, because we value our fingers and the machinery, you know, you can chop some fingers off, and we don't want that. We don't want that. No. So we want to start on day 0 with 1, where every day it's incident free. And there'll be a lot of driving. So we also need people who will be drivers to take a, I think it's called an action driving course, so that your insurance rates are a little bit lower. Do you need a commercial driving license? Maybe, maybe not. So all of those kind of details we put together in an operations plan. Had plenty of time to do that while not having the funds. Can do a whole lot of research. So, but the math, maths, the machine that we are buying is able to make 5,000 to-go containers per hour. So if we have an 8-hour day, 5,000 times 8 hours. And
Y'all get y'all calculators out.
Yep. At cost of goods sold, we're trying to get it to about 16 cents per to-go container. That we could then sell to, because the state of California is eliminating single-use plastic within the food industry by 2030. It's 2026.
Yeah.
So California's got the 6th largest economy in the entire world. So we can just sell to California, restaurants in California, restaurants in Colorado, same thing. So they're eliminating single-use plastic. So this is a product that will be in demand. So we're starting with a product that we have a little bit of a margin, a profit margin, at about maybe 80% profit per container. And then with the revenue, because it's a not-for-profit project possible, so you have to reinvest the revenue. You can't profit. You have to reinvest. So then we decide, where's the new machine going to be? What we're going to make? Are we going to make straws? Because you see all the plastic straws that are used. Or even the little stirrers that are at all the different coffee shops.
Yeah, I use mine for a nice little cocktail.
Or you could get the little skinny one for your little cocktail straw. So the market is there, and the math is there, where then you buy a new machine or add another shift. And so that would have to happen pretty quickly, and also obviously maintaining the machinery, because you want that machine to work.
And it sounds like it costs a lot of money It sounds like it costs a lot of money, but it sounds like it will make a lot of money also.
Right.
So for those investors out there that are watching, they're like, I mean, this sounds pretty good. How much zeros are we talking? Because I know
We're not talking many. It's a $3 million project, and that includes workforce development. That includes a runway for people to be paid for the first 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so for people that are watching, they're like, okay, I think I want to invest. So they just need to invest $3 million?
That's it.
Or that's if they want to put the whole thing.
Yeah. They don't have to do all that, because if we've got a match, if we have say the 500,000 from either an investor and or a group of people, or people just putting together small donations. So I'm going to do a whole not crowdfunding, but a TikTok funding. Because I see somebody was on there talking about, well, we can buy Spirit Airlines, and they had $86 million pledged. And so someone's like, well, this is great. This feels really good. So why don't we do things related to a economy of scale like this? So it's like, well, you know what? In Louisiana, we not just out here suffering. We building too. And you can help us building with donations.
Yeah. And so for the people out there that are watching, what information would you want to give them so they will be able to reach out to you, whether if they just want to send a check? If you just want to send a check.
Yeah.
Or
Cash App assistant.
Right. How can they get a hold of the information to learn more about Sweet Solutions and even be able to donate?
So my email address is Dorothy, DOROTHY, at theprojectpossible.com.
Okay.
Hit a sister up.
So they can just email you.
Yeah,
They can just get any type of information as far as the 5 W's, the who, what, when, where, why, and the H, the how. How we gonna make this happen?
I like
how will this impact?
H, the how. Y'all.
All right, before we close out, and that's your camera right there.
Oh, okay, y'all.
So what is it that you would like to say for anybody that whether they're an investor or they're inspired themselves, what would you like to say for them to get on board with Sweet Solutions?
That hope is out here. And we've got people who are inspired and bright and shiny. You look at them, right? Who have the skills, have the experience, have the knowledge, can buy the land. What are we missing? The money. So if you've got the money, come on. And we can put it all together, and we can lift this little boot up high. So I see a prosperous Louisiana.
Yeah, because, this isn't just bringing, an economic drive, but it's also, repurposing the land.
Exactly.
It's benefiting the environment.
That's right.
So this is really good because, they're trying to bring carbon capture and all that.
We don't want that. But so what do we want? And that's always the question. I sit on a few boards with environmental justice organizations. So it's like, okay, y'all just want to talk about what you don't want. What do you want? Well, we want jobs, and we want industry that doesn't poison us. We want industry that takes care of us. And we want industry that we bring in ourselves, that can be for the betterment of our economy, betterment of our people, because we want health, wealth, and happy people. Happy people.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Dorothy, for joining us on Keep It Local and just sharing this project. And I pray that there is an investor out there that's willing to just, drop the whole bag and then some. Okay, we some praying people over here.
Yes,
okay?
we are.
Because I'm calling on all the prayer warriors.
All right.
To just pray until something happens. You already know. Pray until it works. Pray until something happens.
That's right. Hey, now.
Well, look at it. Look, we finna take it on up to church because God is in the blessing business.
All day, every day. We do know what to say.
Fellow Calians, thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Keep It Local. Thank you for riding with the Broadcast Baddie on this journey. And make sure you subscribe to Broadcast Baddie TV. And also follow me on Facebook, Destiny Beasley. It's not Broadcast Baddie, but it's Destiny Beasley, my real name.
That works too.
So you stay connected to everything that matters. All right, I'll see you all pretty soon.